When I'm Felicia Foxx, I'm this extravagant, strong black woman who, don't take shit from no one.
This is what a warrior looks like.
My name is Felicia Foxx, but my birth name is Wendell French. I grew up out in Campbelltown, but I'm more originally from Moree and Walgett. The youngest Aboriginal drag queen on the scene, but too deadly taken over. I was 15 when I first started, and just that feeling of being up on stage and not having to suppress my femininity, because growing up in a strong black family, having all brothers who played football and cousins who were just masculine, beefy fellas, and I was a little straight up and down, slim, couture body, ready for that runway. But now being able to express my femininity and masculinity and being able to just still be me and have cultural compartments of myself is just so amazing to live in this day and age and still to be able to do that. Left school at the age of 16, got kicked out, got expelled. Used to be a brawler, but it was only a brawler because I used to be this angry, bottled up little boy, I guess, who was confused about my sexual identity. And I guess after having that first job, and I was a project officer, and we developed goal-setting tools for the personalised learning plans, a part of Department of Education for Aboriginal kids. And going back into that school, I remember my two deputy principals said to me, "Don't you remember when we told you were going to end up across the road in juvie?" And it was like, yeah, I remember. Now look where I am, you slut. I'm sitting here teaching you and on a better pay wage than you. Now I guess the biggest fuck you I can give to them is just by succeeding and, like I said before, bringing up all of our mob together. Pre-colonisation, our mob never had this white fella certificate. We had counsellors and we had, psychologists. Our way of healing was by sharing our experiences and just speaking up about it. And I guess that's how we've survived and been the longest living, oldest culture on this earth. And that's why I'm so humbly proud, and every other little black buju and titter out there should be just as proud, because not many people have this bloodstream and we got it. When I first started, I never ever did my own makeup, and I used to pay an artist to do my face. And when you go down Oxford Street and you see them big clown drag queens, I used to look like that. I used to be like, nah, bub, you have to draw on the big cheekbones. I was already born with them, like my aunties and my mothers. And it wasn't normal for drag queens to not wear their hip pads and their stockings. And it was like, this is the structure of, my great-grandfather when they used to be hunters and stuff. So I learned to embrace my body, and I got to speak about, body positivity through my drag as well. And just launched my new little company, Glam and Squat. So it's a First Nations collaborative of First Nations stylists, makeup artists. It stemmed for me from that place of sitting in those chairs and, Gubba thinking they knew what colours and how to do our makeup. And they've never worked a day in their life with, our hair and using, tongs in our hair that shouldn't be used in our hair because it's going to fuck up our deadly, lovely curls. I wanted to change that for the next up-and-coming mob. I don't ever want them to sit there and feel like they're not a part of this, or they shouldn't be a part of that, because that was the narrative that these white fellas have written for us, that we weren't accepted in these places. But we're finally here, and we're not going nowhere. I only turned 21 in August, but one of the most successful drag queens in Australia, and it's like I got told from a young age that I couldn't do a lot of things. That frustrated me, and that gave me more of a drive to go out and prove these fellas wrong, just by going and grabbing what I knew I deserved. It is all right to crack and break down sometimes and then lean back on your mob, at the end of the day, because, we're all here for the same reason, and we've all had that struggle. And all these white fellas want our culture, but they don't want our struggle, and we just got to remember that way of healing and sharing those experiences and take that shame stigma away from everything. For me, a warrior is just someone who goes out and, fights for what is right. Just remember you're lovely and you're deadly, and tell yourself that every day.
Yeah.